Oh my goodness. Hey, I haven't recorded a video in ages. I have been meaning to. I have like so many thoughts. I always say that. Um, been busy, I guess. Not really, but like also like kind of. Anyways, okay, low key. What I wanted to talk about is Donald Trump. Like, I could never defend that man. Like, he's not a good guy. But I'm trying to figure out like if he's like actually like a full genius or not. And it's really 50-50. Like you know that thing is like Schrodinger's cat or some shit. Like until shit actually like ends up working out or not, will like have me convinced. And look, I know everyone just like looks at him and it's like, bro, he's actually just like a fucking idiot because like all the shit he says and like. But like, what if he actually just is smart? Because like, what he's been doing, like what I think he's been doing from like everything that I see, like the world's about to go to war, right? He's pretty much preparing America for war. Like that's what it looks like. Because like it's like fucked up. Like they're like doing all this stuff like with like birth control, like they're like limiting it, then like abortions and that kind of thing. And I think that's because when you go to war you need high populations and there's like they're just like trying to limit population control, I guess maybe. That would make sense to me because like a lot of other countries are having problems with their population, like China's like dying out because of their one child policy years ago, and younger people just aren't having kids in like most countries, and so they're limiting birth control so people have more kids. Crazy. That's what I think. um they're also Trump's tariffs. I had a theory, and this is my theory is that the tariffs um are just for bargaining. He's a businessman. Like he was always a businessman. Like bro, I actually don't know that much about Trump. I just know that he was a businessman. I also know that he went bankrupt and that he's done like a lot of fucked up things. But he so for Russia, for example, like he's always being nice to Russia, but that's because Russia and China are like big allies, and Trump, bro, China and US, like even though like China doesn't directly attack the US. I think that's because I know that the US will like just like fucking like nuke them, maybe, if they attack them. But like they're attacking a lot of the US's allies. Can't remember where I was going with this. I don't know, but like China, I saw this thing. I saw a video. And it must be true because I saw it. But it was basically saying that in China they were saying that their population was 1.4 billion people, right? That's a lot of people. But it was saying statistically, or like based off like the evidence and data that other countries have, their population like was actually probably like 580,000 less than that. So they had less 800,000, 800 million, and then that's like still a lot of people. But then they're saying that literally like maybe like 400,000 people died in China because of COVID. Like China tries to like keep it secret, but like people have been working out like and how many people died. Like other countries have like used their own data and calculations, and there's all this evidence, and it was so interesting. Like, and that is like, do you know what that means? If that is true, like he didn't like say it in the video, but like that is like what like probably like the biggest tragedy of our time. Like genuinely, like that 400 million people. I don't know how many people were in the Holocaust, but like 400 million people. That's like I don't know what the population in America is, but it could be like close to that. Like that's a whole like continent of people, like half like just dead. That's like tragic. That's fucked up. Like that's like horrific. And they're already struggling with their like birth rates and stuff. Anyways, I skipped what I was going to talk about with the tariffs. I think that the tariffs are like a bargaining code. So with Russia like doesn't have many allies, and they need to trade their stuff because all their like oil and all the stuff that they do export got cut off when they started fighting with Ukraine. And so the tariffs make it like hard for them to sell stuff in America because it's a lot more expensive for them to do that. So if America can be like, oh well, if you do this, then we'll lessen the tariffs, then that's like a bargaining code. They've just like kind of like got them in a chokehold. Like now they'll just be like, oh yeah, well, if you want this, then, well, like we want this, and we'll lessen our thing if you do that. And then a lot of the countries like need to because it's important for them because they need to trade, because trade's like such a big thing for most countries, obviously. So that's probably what the tariffs were for. Like, but you know what? I could be wrong. He could just be an idiot. I do think he's a horrible man. But like, also genuinely like, there was another thing that he did. Oh, I don't know. He like legalized Bitcoin, so that way he could do his thing. So he could just like pump money. The whole world's like in a recession because we're like going to war. So of course the prices are like high everywhere. But like, I think that like the leaders, like if Kamala Harris got in, I think she would have been a good leader. I don't know, like she probably wouldn't have gone to war. She like probably wouldn't go to war, but like I don't know if it's like caused by America. I don't really think it is. I don't know who's like causing, because it's like just so many problems in so many different places, but it's mostly caused by like China, I'm pretty sure, because they're just like they're in everyone's waters. They're just trying to like take control of trade routes and resource hotspots and all these other things. I'm so sorry. I can't remember what I was saying. I'll probably remember in a bit. Anyways, if the whole plan, like, bro, it's horrible. Like that, like limiting access to people's like choice for like to have like kids and like all that kind of stuff. But like, not but. I think the reason they're doing it is because they're going to war. That's not a good enough reason. I don't think they should go to war at all. Maybe you could just be like, hey, stop that. And like, the leaders can just talk it out. Like, why the fuck does everyone just have to get blown up because people want more land? Like, bro, like you could actually just probably like talk to someone. Like, you know what? I think the way that the world should be led is that in like every industry. I think the government. Do you know what's horrible? It's like contradicting, because there's people who think that the government should have a lot of control over like businesses and like all that kind of stuff, and then there's people that think government should have like minimal control. And you know what? Both are good, but both are bad. There is no, you can't win. And that's because if you have a government that's like super involved with all the businesses, like I don't know, I think the Labour government we have now is like pretty good. Like they're like investing into TAFE and doing all these other things. They're funding like hospitals. They're like, I don't know, but they're putting all their money into it, and the government's like running a lot of the stuff. But then what if you get a bad government? What if a bad government comes in and it's just like suddenly got control of all that stuff, and it like twists it, like I don't know, they just like gut all the funding, which they do sometimes. And then if you have like more of a private sector that's not run by the government, then like companies like Coles and Woolworths and like all these other ones, like they can just like work together and like create like monopolies, and they can just like price gouge. Like if the government can't be involved, like they can't really be stopped. Like it's all just like, and the companies can just like pay the government. It's like the companies, the businesses just end up running everything, and they're like, people can't vote for the businesses. People can't vote for who runs the business. Like, imagine if we could like vote for the CEO of like Coles or Woolworths. We just vote for some person who actually cares about lowering prices and stuff like that. Look, I know that's a very terrible example. Like, sorry, but like about like Coles and Woolworths. But I think you like know what I'm trying to say. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Let's be honest. Australia, I don't think we're preparing for war, but like the I think the only reason Australia would get involved would, well, like if our allies go to war, we have to fight with our like army. I don't think we'd get conscripted. And the only reason another like country would like attack us, I don't know, maybe like we like made them mad, or like they like want like our resources. But also, I just don't think they'd do that. Like I think we're like kind of fine. Like I'm not too worried. I had something else I wanted to say. I forgot. I always forget. What the hell is that? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having just like the best day. This is, I don't even, like, this is probably gonna be a really quiet recording. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember if I've said this in a video, but Australia doesn't have an army, right? Really, like we don't have that much. Like we have like our allies that will fight for us, but what we have is our resources, and we should just start leveraging our resources against other countries, like for our trade and stuff. Like we'll just be like, okay, well, if you're gonna fucking terrorize us, we're just not gonna give you coal, and then they can get their coal from somewhere else, and then someone else will be like, oh, Australia will buy your coal. I know everyone's like, oh yeah, well then people want to buy our coal. Different people, good people, will probably want to buy our coal. Oh, that was like, I don't even know if I explained that properly either. Sorry. Goodbye.